Hello, friends. This is Parag here, your host on Stay Strong podcast. Thank you very much for joining my channel. If you're seeing this on the YouTube, I'm so glad that you have subscribed to my channel. And if you're hearing on the Spotify, thank you very much for listening me. It's my promise to you to bring the best of the best information in the world of kettlebell sport, kettlebells, and strength and conditioning. And my mission is to motivate you, educate you in the field of kettlebell sport. Today we have a very special guest from Sweden. Her name is Ellinor, and she is a working mom. She has 3 children, and managing her work, managing the family, she started the kettlebell sporting journey at the age of 45. She started because she had problems with arthritis. At the age of the 40, she was detected with arthritis, and she met Per Hollands in one of the physio centers, and he mentioned that in order to get rid of the arthritis, you need to move, and to have less stress on the joint, the best sport or the best art is to lift kettlebells. So she was introduced to kettlebell sport at the age of 45, and at the age of 50, she has one of the best lifting records, a rank of MSWC. She has a lifting record of lifting 16 kg half snatch for 561 reps, which is a speed of 18.7, which is almost 19 repetitions a minute. Please help me to welcome Ellinor from Sweden. Hello, Ellinor. Welcome to Stay Strong podcast. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining this podcast. It's my mission to motivate women out here in India who are above 40 to get into kettlebell sport. And I'm interviewing 50 top women athletes in the world. And I'm so glad I'm connected to you. All over to you, Ellinor. Let's get started. Welcome to this podcast.
Thank you for having me, and I'm really honored to be invited to talk to you along with all the other great, strong women you already talked to.
Yes, thank you very much. I would like to know about your background a bit. Most important part is your professional background to start with, and then what is your fitness background? How did you actually get into the kettlebell sport? Like, when did you get into the kettlebell sport, and what really motivated you to be into the game or be into the sport to achieve the rank of MSWC?
Yeah, okay. So shall we start with
professional?
Yes. I have education in marketing and graphic design, and at the moment I'm working at Region Dalarna, and Dalarna is one of 25 counties in Sweden. Okay. So I do marketing and information for the public transportation in Dalarna.
Okay.
So that's what I do.
Okay. So your job really requires to move around your city, or it is like you are stationed somewhere, or do you move around?
No, I'm stationed in the city in Dalarna, Borlänge.
Okay.
So I work at the office doing marketing, mainly website and print.
Okay.
And social media as well, of course. Yes.
Super. Okay.
Yeah.
Great. And how the kettlebell sport was introduced to you? Like, when did you get into the sport? A little background about that.
I got into the sport in 2015. I met with Per Hans at Physio Center Kettlebell Club. That's the club he has in a local gym here in Falun, where I live.
Falun, yes. Okay.
So I met him there, and he told me about the kettlebell sport.
Okay.
And the reason, maybe I throw in some background. In 2010, I got really, pain in my joints. I had pain like during all the day, and it came from just from one week to the another, and my knees were swollen and my ankles and wrists. So Then I went to the doctor, and after some tests, I got back that I had this arthritis.
Okay.
So, and they told me maybe I shouldn't be able to work full time again, and I needed to, because I had trouble sleeping and all the pain and so on. But then I got some medications, and one of the things to make the arthritis better is to move. So
Yes.
I got back to training with painkillers. I had to take painkillers in the beginning to manage to do training.
Okay.
But after a while, it got better with the medication as well. So I was at this gym where Per Olhans worked. So since I couldn't do my running anymore for my knees, he thought you should try kettlebell lifting, because that's really sweet to your joints. You don't have to
it's a low impact.
Your body.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. So I tried it. I went to this beginners class, like a technical training class. And after that, I thought, no way, I won't do this. This was too difficult for me. But then after a while, maybe a month, I started to join his club. They had like this circuit training, kettlebell circuit training. So I joined them once a week, doing all kind of different movements with the kettlebells, not only the Kettlebell Sport lifts. So, and I did that for a few months, and suddenly I started to train Kettlebell Sport with them. So in the beginning of 2016, I started my training with the Physio Center Kettlebell Club. And I think it was the people I met there, so kind and really helpful and supportive, that made me stay and just continue. And
super. Wow.
That's the way it started.
It started. So what was your first competition? When did you get into the first competition? Or was competition always on your mind, or it just happened?
Actually, it was Per pushing me to do my first competition. It was I think it was in the spring 2016. So quite fast, I did my first competition, and that was, I think that was my how do you say? It was okay, but it didn't went really well, because I think the nerves and you're not really. This is the first time, and you're a bit unsecure if you're doing the right, and you are going to be judged. And but I managed to go through with it. But so.
Now, as you mentioned that you are facing these arthritis issues, and after you started your rehabilitation, like you started lifting kettlebells, maybe moving around here and there. What was the major challenge you faced after you were overcoming the arthritis? When you get into the kettlebell sport, what was the major challenge you were facing? Was it the movement to the joints or something else? What was going in your mind?
I think one of the, not really a challenge, but a benefit for me with the kettlebell sport has been that I could I feel so much better in my whole body and the joints, so I could stop with some of my medications. So that's been great for me, and also I didn't get these, like with arthritis you can suddenly have, like, I don't know the English word, when the joints swallow up again. But that hasn't really happened either. So
that's like you are mentioning about some inflammation on the joints.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, that's right.
So that is typically on the elbow, shoulder, knee, or which joint specifically?
For me, mostly the knees, and then like ankles and wrists was the main problem. That's different from person to person, but for me it was the bigger joints. So but the challenge after this was for me to listen to my body and knowing when it's a good pain and a bad pain, when it's time to stop, because now I'm going over my line for my arthritis and joints, and to know when you can move on and just continue. So it has been my learning during these years. Yes.
So when you actually faced these problems, you were on medications, but when you started Kettlebell Sport, you get rid of the medications. Is it so?
Some of the medication I still have this, like I take the medication once a week to slow down the progress in the arthritis. But that's not these. I don't need to take cortisone or cytotoxic drugs anymore. So that's great.
Okay. Okay. Wow. And one more important question I would like to know from you, because this is a very good experience even for me to understand. Like a post-training, when you're resting, like maybe early morning or maybe little late in the evening, do you get some pains in the joint after finishing your training?
No, I don't. It's like I feel okay. So this made really big difference for me.
Okay. So that means when you're training, when you're finishing the training, you're actually moving, your body is into a motion. And after you actually finish a workout, then your pain actually doesn't increase. It basically gets reduced over a period of time. Is that right?
So sorry, say again.
So I wanted to say is that over a period of time, whatever pain you had, that pain starts to drop. I mean, there is no more, you're no more in a pain. That means, right? Mostly after finishing your workouts.
Yeah, no, that's right.
Okay, great. While doing this, like, do you follow a specific nutrition? Is there any kind of a nutrition program when you get started with the Kettlebell Sport, specifically when you're talking about arthritis? Did you follow some nutrition? Like, are you vegetarian or are you non-vegetarian? What is a typical meal pattern you follow all throughout the day?
I eat ordinary food. I don't eat pork. And I try to avoid wheat flour, bread and pasta and things like that.
So you avoid that, yes. Okay. So,
but I eat. If I'm more strict if I'm training towards competition, then I have this like heavy training with a lot of sets, then I try to really manage my eating. Otherwise, I eat like sweets. I eat them. But not. I try to avoid it when I do my training for my competition. Yes.
Okay. So what is your typical training looks like? Say, for example, after finishing Sunday, or maybe do you train on Sunday? I'm not sure, but how many times a week do you train? And what are your training routines and protocols? Like, do you do a lot of strength training? Do you do a lot of cardio? Do you do a lot of Kettlebell Sport, GPP? How exactly it is placed?
Towards competitions, I do like Kettlebell Sport training maybe 3 times a week, and then I have 1 day of cardio and 1 day of strength training. And the days I do the Kettlebell Sport kettlebell training, I try to complement those days with ab training and training for my shoulders, like the small muscle groups. So
Now I understand that you were introduced to Kettlebell Sport by Per Lance, and I think Per is a physio, right? And but did you had weight issues also? Were you obese, or maybe you were extra weight? Then you really wanted to get into Kettlebell Sport, you decided, or you had problems when it comes to joints like arthritis, what we mentioned, or weight was not an issue in your case? I'm talking about the body weight.
In body weight, no, I haven't had any problem with my body weight. That was not the reason. So
Okay.
I'm about the same weight now that I was before.
Okay.
Maybe bit more muscles now than
Yeah.
before. Yes.
So how was this transformation journey since I think 2015, 2016? So it's 6 years you're training with kettlebells, right? So when you started lifting, you started probably with 8 or 12 kilos.
Yes, 8.
And then you move on to 16 kgs, and when you achieve the rank of MSWC, I think most likely you would be doing 24. So you achieved the rank with the 30-minute marathon or 1 hour?
30 minutes.
30 minutes, okay.
Yes, a half snatch with 16 kilos.
Okay.
Yes.
So I wanted to ask you that from 8 kg to 12 kg to 16 kg, roughly around say 5 to 6 years of journey. Do you think that in this 5 to 6 years of journey, you have done like a good amount of lifting with the 16 kilos? How much a typical time have you spent on a particular kettlebell? Say, for example, if I want to do 12 kilos. So were you practicing with 12 kg for say 6 months, for a year? What was the goal, or what was that mindset when you were training? Like, what was your coach's idea behind you to lift 16 kg and achieve MSWC rank?
I think from the beginning it was just fun. So I just joined the other ones doing their training programs, and with the lighter weights.
Okay.
Since that's the good thing about Kettlebell Sport, you can do it together, but then you have your different weights. You do the same program but different weights. So we went to the Kettlebell Club went to USA in 2017.
Okay.
And then for that it was like a club World Cup.
Yes.
So until then I trained towards lifting with 12 kilos.
Okay.
So maybe I 1.5 years then I trained with 1 year with 12 kilos.
Okay.
Yes.
So almost with 1 year you have trained with 12 kilos.
Yes. So then I lifted jerk for 10 minutes, long cycle for 10 minutes, and snatch.
Okay. Now these days, are you practicing with 16 kg, or do you plan to go on to 20 kilos?
I do train with 16 kilos again. Since I had trouble with my left shoulder in the beginning of 2020. I felt it maybe a year before, some trouble with the left shoulder and pain. Not really pain, but like I lost the strength while lifting. So even though I continued, I started to do more the marathon training and marathon lifting, since you can change arm whenever you want.
Yes.
But in the beginning of 2020, I had to address my problem. So then I started some rehab training for that, but it didn't work out. So I did X-ray and see a doctor, and they told me I had this impingement in my shoulder.
Okay.
It's like the acromion, it's a bone going. It's too tight, so it presses to the joint.
Okay.
So I had surgery this November last year. So they removed some broken parts.
Okay.
And so since December until March this year, I've been doing rehabilitation training again.
Okay.
And in April, I started to lift with the 8 kilos kettlebells from the beginning. So I'm just starting up again. So So this October there were Europeans in Falun, where I live. Yes. So I participated, and then you need to lift with 16 kilos to be able to participate. But I did, so I couldn't do the doubles, but I lifted 16 snatch 10 minutes with 16 kilos.
Snatch,
and
full snatch,
yes,
yeah.
yes.
Oh,
And
okay.
then
What
30
was the
minutes.
score?
170.
170, 117.
170.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
Amazing.
I'm really happy since that's 7 more
It's a
than I
really
did
good score.
before. Yes, so I think my rehabilitation worked out.
Yes, 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 yes. Yes, that is also exactly I was going to say. Actually, rehab has helped you to get your score up.
Yes, it did. And maybe changing my technique a bit as well. And I think that's the other great thing about kettlebell sport. Is always something you can always improve.
Yes, yes. Super. So you have a coach?
Not at the moment. I had Per before,
Yeah.
but this last year, since I'm doing all this rehabilitation, I've been doing my own
Okay.
training.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you really do to train your mind? How, I mean, see, most of the time what happens is when you have any injuries, when you have any problem, we have a little setback, right? And at times it is very difficult for a women or even for a man to get to that pace where they were until they really have some coach. So do you kind of do some kind of a meditation? Do you see some like inspirational novels or something which basically inspires you? What do you really do to motivate yourself?
I think I have the people around me that I train with or talk to about training. They are good. It's good to talk to people that understand you and are going through the same.
Always
and then
good
I
to
think,
have a good community around.
Yeah, that's right. And that's one thing. But the thing I did during this rehabilitation was writing. I wrote everything down, so I could see my improvement. Otherwise, I think I've been more down. But since I wrote everything I did down every day, so then I could, when it felt really bad, I could just go back and see I have improved. So that was my way to see that.
Wow. So it's very important to understand that how important the log is, and that is also I've been actually pushing to my students also, and even many coaches where I conduct seminars to keep write down whatever workouts you do, so that you can refer them anytime. Wow, that's great. And do you do long cycle also, or do you do only snatch? What is your favorite lift?
I think half snatch I like, and long cycle I also do a lot. Snatch is that's a technical
lift,
challenge.
Yeah.
And also when you just have one switch.
Yes.
With
it's very challenging.
Yeah, but I've done a lot of long cycle as well.
Okay.
And I did in 2019. I went to do this. I don't know what you call it. Let's see if I ultimate marathon.
That's
6 hours lifting.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. So you have done a 6 hours lifting
with one arm long cycle, 12 kilos. Yes.
Yeah. Multiple switch.
Yes.
So did you have a stop, or it was no stop?
I think you were allowed to have 5 minutes every hour when you lift 6. So it was under IKMF's supervision. So yes.
Okay. So where did that held? Where was that?
In Helsinki, in Finland.
Finland.
Yes.
Okay.
And a fitness festival or something.
Something. Okay. Great.
So there were judges as well.
Okay.
Yes.
Great. Do you also take some supplements when you're doing any kind of kettlebell sport event, like for example protein or maybe something else? If you take something, if you can just throw a highlight on that, if you take any supplements for recovery, maybe.
Yeah, no protein. I drink this beetroot juice.
Beetroot juice, okay.
Yes, and then I take collagen for my joints, and otherwise I take magnesium and zinc and
yes.
ashwagandha. I also take, yes.
Okay. Nice. Yes, that
Yes.
basically helps you to relax your mind,
Yes.
and yes, that's nice supplement. Wow.
Mm.
Great. So now, what is the next? What are you preparing for?
We will see what happens if there will be any with all the competitions, but hopefully IKMF have some competition this spring maybe.
Okay.
So I will try to go to that.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And I think there is a WKSF event in Portugal as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, maybe that as well. We'll
Okay.
see. Yeah.
So some
to
interesting.
Improve the snatch.
Exactly. Yes. Great. Now, we would like to actually know, your best lifting records, what you have done in Kettlebell Sport since past couple of years. Maybe just one in marathon, one in classic, 10-minute classic, one or two in 10-minute classic, and if at all, if you have any world records, maybe if you can just share that.
I think I have a world record in long cycle double 12 kilos. I did in 2019, so 124 repetitions, and that's in the weight class. Is it minus 68 kilos?
Okay. Yes.
For women, yes.
Women. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So actually, I know they lifted lots of more than 100, but I think that's for minus 68 kilos.
Okay.
And then in ultimate marathon, like I told you, this in Helsinki, 6 hours, I lifted 3,738 repetitions. And I don't think any other woman has done that yet.
Yes,
but I'm not sure.
I'm sure no one must have done it. It's a 6 hours work, and I think many women are struggling to make it 30 minutes. So the 6 hours is a very long work. I would like to really ask a quick question here. Do you have any fitness background before you started this? Like, for example, your childhood days, or maybe if you have done any marathon, or you have any sport background, fitness background?
When I was a child, I tried everything: football, dancing, jiu-jitsu. But in my early teenager, I did athletics, like short running, short distance running is the So I did that for maybe 4 years or something like that. And that included a lot of running, circuit training, and weight lifting. So, but then after that, it's been a bit on and off running and weight training. So I always done something, but maybe in my 20s, I didn't do so much. And then I got my first child in the end of my 20s. So after that, it was a bit on and off.
Okay. So at the age of 40, 45 and 50, did you do any kind of training? Because I think you started Kettlebell Sport a little later. Now you're 50, but at the age of 40, were you into strength training or any kind of fitness training?
Before I started the kettlebell training, I did weight lifting in machines. But not all year round, more like maybe from autumn. Yes, from autumn to spring, like 6 months, and then it became summer in Sweden, and I did other things.
Yes,
so not so continuously like I do now. Now I do all year round training.
Okay. And like, what was the Kettlebell Sport marathon best numbers you mentioned about the half snatch for the MSWC? How much is that repetitions you have done?
That's 561 repetitions with 16 kilos. Yes.
Okay, so that is in 30 minutes.
In 30 minutes, yes, that's right.
Okay. And anything on the long cycle for 30 minutes with 16 kilo? Have you tried that?
Yes, I did now in Falun.
Okay.
I lifted
Okay.
5
Yeah.
repetitions. I also tried double 12s
Okay.
for 30 minutes.
Okay.
in Poland, yeah.
Okay. Super. Great. I think I'm not sure, but if you have met, because I was also there in Poland from India. I think you must have seen me, or maybe I must have seen you, but into 2019,
Yes.
I came to Poland. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Quite many people.
Yeah, there
Poland.
were a lot of people. Yeah.
Yes.
Great. Yeah, I think I'll see you soon in one of the competitions for sure.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yes.
That will be great. Yes.
And before we end, I would like you to give a very strong message for the women lifters out here in India. What is the message you want to give them?
Believe in yourself, follow your spirit, and find a sport that gives you joy and lift you up. I think that's don't
Give up.
Don't give up, and don't let anyone else tell you that you can't do it.
Anything,
because
yes.
you believe in yourself. That's the main thing, and have fun.
Yes, that's the most important part.
Yes, I think so. Because when you find just the sport that you like, it's easy to continue.
Yes.
Yeah.
Interesting. Wow. Great. Thank you very much, Ellinor, for your valuable time, and it was great interacting with you, because I also personally get a lot of insight, and simultaneously the viewers who see this on the YouTube or here on the Spotify, they really get a very good content to understand what the kettlebell sport is all about. And even my mission is to spread the word across India and get as many as lifters for the championships.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, and I wish you good luck.
Yeah, you too. Take care.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much for listening this podcast. It means a world to me. Please leave a comment if you like this video, and also specify if you would like to hear out something specific in kettlebell sport, so that I'll be able to make a solo podcast, or maybe I would like to see if I would be able to get you this information via having a special guest on podcast who will be able to answer your query. Thank you very much. See you next time.